listen for the storm. Hear the difference in the wind. When dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane comes in. Far away when the hurricane, oh, that old hurricane comes.
Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Delta South Grain and Harvest. I hope you're keeping well and having a great day. So yeah, first and foremost, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you for giving episode 1 such a very warm welcome the other day. I'm very glad you all seem to enjoy where the series is headed, what we've got planned and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really appreciate it. And I've just realised I've jumped into the cab to get the engine started and forgot to open the door. You'll have to forgive me. It's we're in the UK again today. We're having something of a rather hot spell, shall we say. It is extremely warm. I do hope that the multiple fans that I have located around me at the minute to help me get this done aren't kind of impacting the sound on the microphone. I don't think they should be, but yeah, either way, if you can hear a fan, I do apologise. I wouldn't be able to get this done otherwise. I really wouldn't. It's absolute torture. It really is. I think we're knocking on the door of 31 degrees at the minute, so yeah, it's hard work, let's just say. Anyway, let's crack on. So yeah, episode 2, here we are. We've not moved forward in time any. We're still exactly pretty much where we left off after episode 1, but the work is still there to be done. We've got loads to do, but firstly, before we do anything in the fields, I want to I've made a very, very slight change to the road network, as it were, but the structure of it as a mod. I did mention in the last episode that I wanted to start this series off with this tractor attached to a Bestway sprayer, which is a tow behind trailer. At the minute we've got this Hardy Mega 2200 by Puzzcap. It's a great mod, there's nothing wrong with it, but for this series I wanted to have this Bestway one. Now I've used this Hardy one a couple of times before. I used it over on my previous US series, the Dig Out of Debt in Kentucky, but yeah, I just wanted to get my hands on this Bestway one, and it didn't work with these road placements that we've got around the farm, and that's because they had a bit of a collision to them. It was only on the pieces of roadway that were placed on slight inclines, but they had an odd collision to them where it would stay as a slab, an invisible collision slab that kind of stuck out the ground if you placed them on an incline, essentially. And because of that, it was affecting. I had the Bestway sprayer, and I couldn't get it onto my farm. Essentially, it was like hitting a brick wall right at the very edge of the farm, trying to drive into it. So I had to, at the time, just accept defeat and get rid of it. But I have prevailed, and I've managed to remove the collisions from those pieces of road. So that's great. So I did because I really didn't want to get rid of them. Kim had spent such a long time creating this farm that the last thing I wanted to do was get rid of them, and I just thought, well, hang on a minute, what if I just get rid of the collisions somehow? They should still work, and sure enough, they do. The wheels of the tractors don't clip through them because they are placed on the ground directly underneath them, so that's all good. So yeah. So as a result of that, I can now go and sort myself out with the sprayer that I really did want. Now I'm gonna lose, I think it's about 9 or 10 grand, I think, if we get rid of this. Based on the value of this from the menus, that is. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more for it if I take it to the shop down here, but we might do, we'll see. But one of the reasons why I did want to bring you on this little journey with me is that I can show off a little bit more of the build that Kim did for me on this map, because it doesn't just stop at the farm build, the wonderful farm build. It carries on. There's even more as well. We're not going to get around to necessarily showing you all this today, but there is also a relatively sizable area to the very west side of the map, which is the production system site. And I've just realised, sorry, my brain just went blank then, because I've just realised I might have just driven through the wrong gate. But yeah, she has created this wonderful dealership area down here. Obviously, case branded, as you can see. But it is really, really cool. All of these are base game usable tractors, but they've had their ownership stripped from them, so I can't use them or get into them. They're essentially just for decoration. But how cool does it look having full quality, high definition models essentially there for me to just to look at, I guess. But yeah, it's really, really cool. So another massive word of thank you to my mate Kim for everything she's done for me on this save. I know there's an element of unrealism there passing through those side tanks, but there's not much I can do about it. It is what it is. Let's get this big gate open. Yeah, I wanted to, should have turned left as I was babbling on then. Down this little track here to get into the gate, but hey ho, it is what it is. So let's get ourselves in here. Get this thing sold, buy this best way thing, and get back to the farm and get cracking, because the work continues. We still have some fields of cotton to drill. We need to be getting on with that as soon as possible, but we can't drill them yet because we need to get the fields cultivated. Presently, the 2 fields that we need to work in, or that we want to get the cotton drilled in, currently have a harvested state of previously harvested crop of corn in there. So, right, this is what we want. 35,112. So if I sell that... No, you see, there's something about this now we don't get, because this isn't the official shop, as it were. I'm not too sure what it is that creates this within my save game here anyway. It could be advanced damage system, I'm not too sure, but we don't get the exact value. As you can see there, this value is 35,112. We're only getting 31,920, but hey ho, it is what it is. So we'll get rid of that. Lovely stuff. And then, let me just make sure that the store deliveries is reset. And then we can go back into the menus and I can purchase the one that I wanted initially. So here we are. This Best Way Ag Field Pro 1200. Now, ignore the capacity. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but we know what the see and spray, and that's 44,500. So yeah, we've lost a little bit of money in the process of doing this, but it's fine. It is what it is. And that thing should be somewhere around here. Where are you? Things normally spawned here. Where have you gone? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I'm on the wrong pitch here. It should just be around the corner here, shouldn't it? Forgive me. This is where the... Yeah, there it is around there. Good stuff. But yeah, this is a lovely area. Now, what we've got set up down here are... We're on the map. We've actually got 3 of Aussie's used vehicle sales areas placed down. Now, at the minute, because as far as time progresses in this save game, the only time that has progressed is pretty much during the recording of episode 1. Obviously, in the time it's taken, there's a lot of hours gone into the preparation of this save game and this map, but it's all been while time has been stood still, so there hasn't had enough time for all these areas to populate. But we've got a large area here for used vehicles. We've got a large area over here for used vehicles, and there's another one, third one over towards where the production systems are, which we'll get to in a future episode. It more than likely won't be today, because we've got a lot to get through today. But yeah, so we've got 3 of them, and I've kind of... What I've done is I have set them up so there's one that is a relatively low quality machinery section, and there's a medium quality and a high quality. So in the fullness of time, we'll be able to see what's going on there, see if there's any bargains to be had, because I don't have everything. Even though I do have an enormous amount of equipment, I have started myself off with a lot of stuff on here, haven't I? Which was by design. I didn't want to, you know, like I said in the first episode, I didn't want to be... It's not a... start from scratch and build your way up or anything like that. It's just to enjoy myself, save, get deep into it with the big machinery, and just have some fun and play on this beautiful map with some incredible equipment. So yeah, that was the idea. So alright, let's get ourselves up to about there. I think that should do us, I hope. There we go, bring it to a stop. Fingers crossed I've got this one to the right point. Oof. Almost perfect. That'll do for me. Lovely stuff. Right then, anyway, so yeah, the work we need to focus on today is getting the cotton in the ground. Like I say, we need to cultivate those 2 fields first. Then what we need to do is lime the fields. We'll be using our big sprayer for that, the big Case Patriot. We'll be digging that out and getting some liquid lime thrown on the cultivated field, and then once that's done, then we can get the cotton in the ground, and then once the cotton is in the ground, then we can take a look at soil and fertilizer and get the exact numbers of products needed, whether we're going to need topping up with nitrogen, with potassium, with phosphorus, sorry. Yeah, we'll be able to get a better reading from what the field requires once we've got the crop in the ground, but the lime needs to be done first. Now, the cotton field that we drilled in the last episode, according to Soil and Fertilizer's treatment plan, the top half of that field apparently does require a little bit of extra lime. Not much, but just a little bit. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to leave it as it is because I feel it's the wrong order to do things. I don't want to be, you know, ideally you want to be throwing lime into a bare field, as it were, before the crop grows in. Yes, the crop's just been sown, it's not germinated yet, but it's not too low. I may well take a slight hit on it, perhaps, but, you know, I'm prepared to do that because it's the right order to do things. I'm not just going to throw lime onto the top of that field. So yeah, so we'll leave that one to its own devices now, because as for the other nutrients that soil and fertilizer brings to the game, the potassium and the phosphorus and nitrogen and all that, it's fine for those. So we're all good. And then onwards from that, we've got 2 grass fields that we need to get worked in that are outside of the farm, and then we've also got a couple of other grass fields as well nearby the farm. I'm not necessarily going to get round to the grass today either, because there's still quite a lot to get done for the cotton. I need to focus on the cotton first, because that's going to be, in the future, some big money. And then it's next month, April, that's going to be another busy planting month. We've got corn, we've got soybeans, and we've got long grain rice to get drilled, so there's plenty to be getting on with. There really is. So anyway, but for now, I've got what I wanted to get with this sprayer. I'm very glad I've been able to figure out the removal of the collisions from these from those bits of road, so that, because the other thing that it did massively affect, and this was a nightmare off camera anyway, the big case planter, the 2160 early riser that we purchased in the last episode, that was a nightmare trying to pull that into the farm because of the collisions that the ground had that you couldn't see. That really big case planter is quite it's difficult to handle, shall we say, when it's on uneven ground, especially when there are collisions that you don't necessarily know are there. It was yeah, the arms were going all over the place, and it gets a bit messy, so I had to get rid of them, otherwise I couldn't even get that thing on the farm either. So yeah, there was genuine reason for wanting to do what I got done, but I'm glad I've got it now, and I've been able to temporarily get the case parked away in one of the sheds. I've played a little bit of musical tractors and musical tools, just to allow me to find a place for that to live, because while I was setting up the save, there was I hadn't actually taken into account the new quad track that we spent a load of money on, and the planter. So yeah, it was when I was driving it through here, bringing it around here, and then up and over this hump here, that it started to go really, really bad. But that's where I've parked it for now. The case has got its bonnet up, because we do need to give that a little bit of TLC, because after its work in the last episode, according to Advanced Damage System, it does need its radiators blowing out and its air filters blowing out as well, because it was obviously accumulated with quite a bit of dust after the first planting. So anyway, this is us. There we are. Lovely. Excellent stuff. Right, well, you can stay there for now. I'm just glad I've got that sorted. And there we are. I know, but ironically, this Best Way piece of kit is pretty much John Deere colours, isn't it? And we haven't got anything John Deere branded on the farm, but it's fine. It'll do. I just really wanted to use it. For me personally, I just feel it suits this farm and this save game much better than the Hardy thing that I had before. So anyway. But that quad track's going to sit there for a little bit yet. We'll sort its maintenance out briefly when we get it, and when we get it out in a wee while's time. But for now, we get to sit in this for the office for the next couple of hours. This absolute whopper. It comes from in the same pack, the Steiger 2025 series from Carl Farms, and it is a thing of beauty. This, it really is, absolutely massive. All the details as you'd expect from Carl Farms. Let's get it started up. There we are. Pop that steering wheel down. Lovely stuff. Now, I think should be able to get this thing folded up and be able to pull it out without having to move anything else. I've spaced them as well as I could. And it is great that I've been able to fold and unfold such a massive piece of equipment still inside the shed. I think is really, really cool. But there we go, the engine's all warm. In fact, I did warm all the engines up before starting the recording today. There we are. I think we'll hang a right out of here, I think. There we are. There's something really, really nice I find about having really stuffed full sheds full of machinery and big kit. It's just really, really cool. That was one of the things that I really wanted to do on this series, just have sheds full of stuff, which is one of the reasons why we started off with so much kit. So anyway, right, let's get ourselves around to the field. Now we can't actually, I mean we can if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because it's not the right thing to do. The way to get to those fields on the other side of the trees there is to go up and around the lanes here. So I'll pick you up there in a moment or two's time.
Running wild, ride the lightning, run on empty the ring of fire, rolling like Mississippi, your mama tried, and I got down to my bones, don't know where I'm gonna go, oh sweet child, I'm running wild, I'm running wild.
Right, here we are. This is us. 2 fields to work here. We've got this smaller one here on the right-hand side. We'll leave that one till last. We'll get cracking on the big one here. Get the big one done first. Now, something I forgot to mention before, actually. Regarding this save game, it already seems to be, as I kind of expected it would be with it being a Kim build. It's proven very popular already, and there already has seemed to have been quite a few requests for a copy of it. Now, there is something that we can do with this one. There aren't any MA7 mods used on this build or anything like that, so all of the mods used in this save game so far are publicly available. So it is something that we are likely to get down to at some point in the next couple of weeks. So if you are interested in getting a copy of this save game, I will, of course, I did post all the links to the mods that I've used and also of most of the ones on the farm build as well over in the description for of episode 1. So if you are interested in getting hold of the mods ahead of time, then by all means jump back into the description for episode 1. This isn't like that, just me. That was huge. I pressed go on that about 3 seconds ago and it just stopped. It just stayed there anyway. But yeah, if you are interested in getting all the mods ahead of time, by all means go and click on all the links in the description for episode 1 and you'll have them ready, and then hopefully at some point within the next couple of weeks, I can't say when, but there will be hopefully a copy of this save game available for anyone to download if they wish over on my Discord. The link to my Discord is again in the video description below, so by all means jump on board, come and say hello. It'd be great to have you all there. But anyway, yeah, for now, let's get cultivating, get this job done, and then we can get it limed and get it drilled. And I've just missed a bit there. Shocking. Right then, I'll see you in a wee while's time.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. I'm not heading for the stars, driving down this boulevard tonight. Yeah, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing.
Right then, there we go, job done. all done in a little under 2 hours. Now that's one of the reasons why I love massive equipment. Ordinarily, up until now, especially the last few kind of series I've been doing, I suppose mainly mentioning Dig Out of Debt in Kentucky, I've been so used to massive jobs with relatively small equipment in sometimes sizable fields taking multiple hours to get done, sometimes 6, 7, 8 hours at harvesting and cultivating and stuff like that. So yeah, just to be able to get these vast fields worked in and get the jobs done in relatively short space of time. I mean, nothing happens quickly in Farming Simulator, does it? But yeah, 2 hours to me is something of a luxury, I've got to say. It's just a nice change for of a play style, to be honest. I'll tell you what is a really nice difference, I suppose, as well to my usual content and stuff that I've been releasing in the last few series. No animals. There's nothing wrong with animals. I love working with animals in Farming Simulator, but it is just a really nice, refreshing change not to have to be focusing on any animals right this second anyway. I did mention we may well look into investing in some animals in the distant future, but for now, being able to just jump into a save game and not have to worry about where my animals are up to, do they need topping up with food and water and all that kind of stuff. It's just a nice change. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, right, give me 2 seconds. Let me just, I'm going to bring up auto drive and I'm going to send this back to the farm just so that I can talk and drive at the same time and jump into the menus more specifically. So now those 2 fields are cultivated, we need to top them up with a bit of lime. So let's jump into soil and fertilizer and have a look. For some reason, as soon as you jump into soil and fertilizer, the frame rate absolutely tanks. If I bring up my frame rate there, it usually sits at 30 and with a 61 frames there because I am running the frame generation. But as soon as you jump into soil and fertilizer, it absolutely tanks. But anyway, these are the 2 fields we need to work with. I've got no explanation for this stripy pattern that we have here in field 137. The messages and the information that we get from whether it's a green or an orange square is the same, very acidic. It's a level of 5.0, and if I remember correctly, an ideal optimal level is 6.5, 6.6. We have got some good fields somewhere. There we go, 6.5 optimal. Yeah, so 6.5. So we need to increase this considerably actually at the minute. So it could take a little bit of lime, but liquid lime, as I will be using thanks to soil and fertilizer, I think is considerably more economical than the normal solid lime. Again, if I can reference this, because I've got Farm Kit running, NX Modding's Farm Kit. It's a cracking mod. Now that does have a kind of field calculator built into it, and field 137, for example, tells us that we're going to be, if I was using the usual solid lime, it would take just under 67,000 litres. And I'm pretty confident that we're not going to be using anything like that when we dig out the sprayer in a second or two and get it filled with some liquid lime. We may well need to fill up once, perhaps. I really don't know, but the chances are it might go pretty far. The Case Patriot sprayer that I have on the farm has a capacity of 6,050 litres, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, be interested to see how far that goes. And this is also putting my auto drive course to the test. I didn't record the auto drive course with a big wide big lad like this, so I'm hoping it should be fine. It shouldn't knock into any fences or anything. There you go, up the hill, big lad. And then once you get here, I'll just park it nicely in the shed, get it out of the way for now, so we won't be using this anymore this episode. That should be us. There we are, lovely stuff. Get it reversed in here, and then we can go and dig out the sprayer. So there we go. Again, for those of you, a little light tip for reversing in Farming Simulator: dial down the reversing speed and everything becomes so much more manageable. It really does. Down to a relatively pathetic 2 miles an hour, but 2-3 miles an hour, in my humble opinion, is the sweet spot for reversing anything in Farm Sim. It really is. But there we go. Should be able to fit this very nicely into here. Now this does need a wash, and it will probably need some kind of attention from Advanced Damage System. Perhaps me having a bit of a clean out with the air blower and the grease gun, perhaps. We might need a little bit of grease. I don't know. It's got 2.5 hours on it, so maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, there we go. Job done for this one for now. Lovely stuff. Let's jump out. Again, I know I've harped on about this many, many times, haven't I, folks? But my word, if that isn't just the best mod ever, cab cinematic. For some reason, my super strength came on then, and I almost picked up the tractor. We'll have none of that, thank you very much. Right, there we go. That'll do. So, where do I want to go? I'm still finding my feet with this farm, where I need to get to. We're going to get round here to the sprayer, which is in the chemical shed. And we can top it up with a bit of liquid lime and see how far it goes. Now, what I think I'm going to do with this liquid lime job, because I need to get both of those fields done, is potentially throw it into a bit of a time lapse, speed it up a bit. Get the door open. There we are. Again, cab cinematic, how it knows the route to take as for the vehicle that you're getting in is absolutely brilliant. It really is. So we need to wait for a second or two for the engine to warm up, so that I don't get told off by advanced damage system. Ah, look at that in front of me. I've only just recognised that I've got a jet washer on the wall there. That's something to consider, because it was another thing I needed to remember to buy. But we've got one in here. I'm not sure if I've got another one in another one of the sheds. Again, I love a shed that has a built-in jet washer. It's just absolutely bang on. Right, come on, temperature. Where are you up to now? It doesn't usually take this long. Come on. Oh, do you know what? If I just... There we go, there we go. Right. So, bring up the F1 menu. Yep, let's refill this. There we are. We want ourselves liquid lime. There we are. Get this filled up. Well, that's quite quick. That'll do. 6,050 litres, is it? Bang on. Lovely. Okay. Now then, what I think I am going to do is make sure that I have activated the automatic spray rate the automatic application rate within soil and fertilizer. And you can do that in the soil and fertilizer menu. So we'll do that when we get to the, in fact, no, it's shift and question mark to bring up that menu, and then I think it's shift and L. There we go, to turn on the automatic application rate. Excellent stuff. Right, so now that's on. Let's get rid of that menu. I know for some viewers, some may appreciate having the heads-up displays on the screen. I just don't like having heads-up displays on the screen. I really don't. I know they contain very helpful information, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, but I like to play with as minimal heads-up displays as possible. Obviously, keeping the speedometer and that information in the bottom right-hand side and in the top right-hand side obviously is extremely helpful. And every now and again, bring up the F1 menus, but you can scale up and down the size of the heads-up displays in the soil and fertilizer, but I haven't done that up to now. So I think I'm just going to keep it as it is. I know now that I've got the application rate as I want it, and I can keep an eye on my quantities, of course, in the bottom right-hand corner. So I think what we'll do for this one, I'm going to jump out of cab mode, because making a montage when you're in cab mode doesn't really work very well, does it? Let's be honest. So yeah. So let's throw this into a bit of a montage. We'll get both these fields sprayed again. We'll start with the larger of the two, get the big one done, and finish off with the smaller one. And once the lime's as it should be, then we can get back to the farm. We've already got a load of seed, cotton seed, in the planter, so we can just get back out in the quad track with the early riser and get the cotton in the ground. So I'll see you very, very soon. Right, so there we go. That was a relatively quick job. I do hope that montage came out okay and didn't make people feel motion sick or anything like that. It is one of those difficult things if you move the camera around too much, because I had no idea at the start of it how fast I would need to speed the footage up to make it to time it with the music, if that makes any sense. So sometimes you turn it up and you've got to dial the speed up really quite fast, but if you spend time moving the camera around, you know what I mean, that speed of the camera view is you know, dialed up multiple times when you're throwing things into cinematic montages like that, into time lapses. So yeah, it was just I hope it came out all right. I did my very best not to move the camera at all. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, one thing I did just want to bring up, and again, a little bit of a irony here, the timing of things anyway. I've just been asked over on my Discord by a long-time friend of the channel, Rue, how I'm getting on with soil and fertilizer, and if I have experienced any major problems with it. Now, up to now, I haven't really. I must admit, this particular save has been a little, not problematic by any sense of the word, but I've just noticed a few discrepancies, shall we say. Whether that's because I used the Starting Spring mod, I don't know. I know from talking to Argsy over on myself and Welsh's Farmer's Table episode last week, he started a save with FSG over on the Paoli map, and he started with Starting Spring and the Soil and Fertilizer mod, and they didn't have any problems when it came to opening up the map. Now, like I mentioned in the last episode, when I opened up this map with Soil and Fertilizer after the Starting Spring mod, every field was absolutely devoid of any kind of nutrient, right down to zero. There was nothing in any of them, and I just assumed that was a mod conflict, so I wouldn't have necessarily put any blame at all onto Soil and Fertilizer for that. I couldn't do that because I didn't know if it would be factually correct. But one thing I have noticed, if I jump into my map menu now and just show you what I'm talking about, so for example, field 137 that we've just worked in here, it's the color charts specifically. Again, I've got no answer for this stripy pattern that's going on, but now after one pass, we're now at 6.5, we're at optimal, and that's great. But I can't explain the color chart. I have had stories from folks in the comments of some of my Whitcomb Park Farm episodes where they have had to run their lime spreader more than once, 2 or 3 times in some cases, in order to achieve the optimal level of lime. Now, but when it comes to the color chart, green is good and red is bad, pretty much, and every iteration in between. If we look at field 136 up here, it's green but says very acidic. Now, where we've made a pass here, we've only made a headland, but thankfully now when we click in one of the squares that correspond to where we've already been, we're at optimal, so that's great. So we're managing this in one pass, and I think that's because I am running the automatic application rate. But let's just take a look at 2 of the grass fields here that we've got around the back of our farm. That's in red. From the outside, I'd be like, oh, goodness me, I'm in the lime section of soil and fertilizer. So to me, that needs a coat of lime. But if I click in it, it says optimal. So it's like, what? Over here, slightly acidic, yeah. So, but predominantly, everything's optimal, but I'm still looking at red. So whether I have, like I say, a level of irony that I was asked literally moments ago over on my Discord by Rue, am I coming across any issues? Not necessarily issues, but like I say, I'm just a discrepancy on this map anyway. I haven't had any problems over on Whitcomb Park Farm, but this one, there's something not quite right here. Everything seems to be working fine. The actual mechanics of spraying the stuff onto the fields seems to be fine. I think at the minute it's just the color chart. Maybe it's just the color chart for lime. If I go to the nitrogen levels again, can't explain this stripy pattern. Now I am running. Forgive me, a point I'd forgotten to mention in the first episode. This map is row crop system ready, and I am running Thundar's row crop system mod on this. So when we plant and when the crops germinate, you will see them appear in lovely, neat north-south directed rows, predominantly because obviously that's how I'm telling my courseplay courses to do them. But yeah, so the row crop thing, that could appear to be something to do with row crop, but when you but row crop automatically, if I was to go into easy development controls, for example, and set this field to a sown crop of anything, they would appear north south. I would, I'd have to do it myself if I wanted the row crops to appear east-west, left-right, you know what I mean? So I've got no answer for this stripy pattern. That's the point of trying to make anyway. So yeah, but so far we haven't got the crop in the ground. But once we've got the cotton in the ground shortly, we should see the readings for the nitrogen, for the phosphorus, and also for the potassium. We shall see where we go with that. But for now, the lime in a few minutes' time looks like it could be good after one pass, and that's all that matters. And it's taken moments again, running. I think it's just north of 37 meters, the width of this bit of kit. So yeah, it's not taken long at all. And look, we've stuck what we are, 59%, 3,600 liters left in the hopper behind us. So yeah, we've got both fields done. So it's very economical. It's great stuff. Right then, anyway, so this is almost done, so I'll pick you back up over at the farm. We'll be sorting out, jumping back into the quad track, and we'll get back out over here and get the cotton drilled, eh? Right then, here we are, back at the shed. Reversing by braille slightly. There we go, that's not so bad. It's quite difficult reversing this one, even with the mirrors, I'll be honest. Right, jump out. Lovely stuff. Now, oh, hello. I do get a bit clobbered by that auto ladder thing there when you get out with cab cinematic, but hey ho. Got to take the rough with the smooth, haven't we? So here we go. Now I do need two, if I remember correctly. Let's just have a quick inspection of the big lad here. But I think it does need its radiators and air filters blowing out. Radiators slightly dirty, air intake duct dirty. Yep, so there's my air blower, there we go. This was the reason I had the bonnet lifted up with this one. Again, one of the reasons why I wanted to have these detailed mods, tractors, machines on this save is just to be able to take advantage of this, especially combining it with advanced damage system. Just turns it up a notch, don't you think? It really does. Now, air filter wise, the air filter's up there. And I know I don't have to do this, do I? But let's just give that a blow, because it's the right thing to do, isn't it? Right, that should be us, I think, now. Let's just give that a quick check now. There we are. Okay, lovely stuff. That's what we like. Right, so pull the bonnet down. There we are. Clamber in. Now, if I remember correctly, where are we at? So we're at exactly 75% full of cotton seeds. So, now, in the last episode, we drilled those two fields that are now one field. They were 42 acres combined. We've got 66 acres to do now. So I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going to say that we've got enough seed behind us to do the job. Fingers crossed. There's a little bit of a... Do you know what? I'm a proper nerd for FPS, but... Turn back here, everything's smooth as butter. As soon as you get to there, bum 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 bum, something just starts to tank it. I'm not too sure why. That's not tanking, I suppose. It's only a couple of FPS, but yeah, I am a bit of a nerd with that kind of stuff. But I'm going to overlay an image here, actually, from the other day when I was testing out this floor, just so you can see what I meant by the collisions with the floor. So here's the Steiger with the planter on the back, and you can see on the right hand side the kind of the boom of the planter was oh, this is going to go horribly wrong, isn't it? I got it in here. I got it in here. How on earth? Oh, I did actually straighten it up though, to be fair, so let's just pull it as far to our left as possible. Yeah, I managed to legitimately reverse it in there without any problem whatsoever, but... And now I've just hit the wall there. I made a complete dog's dinner of this. Oh no, there we go. But somehow that... Look at the boom on the... on what is the left-hand side of the planter there. It's a great machine, this. It really is, but you can see what I did... say it can be a little bit of a nightmare sometimes. Maybe just a visual thing, but yeah, it's just kind of dropped there a bit, hasn't it? I'm going to have to... I need to write that. I know we're going to take ourselves out to the field, but I feel I need to write that before I do anything, so just give myself a little bit of room and just see if I can start to unfold it, which will take a moment or two, and as soon as it starts to open up, close it again and just see if it sets it back to normal, because it is a bit of a weird one, that, isn't it? I think I did cause that by bumping it into the wall of the shed. I might have to have a bit more of a jiggle around in the sheds and see if I can park them a bit better. Right, you're going to start to open up now. I might have to wait for it to... see how it's just gone dead droopy and they sunk into the floor. There we go. Are you going to sort yourself out? Bum bum bum. Nope. Well, that was a complete waste of time, wasn't it? Right, let's fold it back up. Well, there we go. It's... see, the wheel's gone right into the ground, hasn't it? Maybe it might set itself right when we get it fully folded back in again? I don't know. Come on, don't let me down. And you are going to let me down, aren't you? Rubbish. Right, anyway. I'll just have to let it be. Right, so... let's get out to the fields and get this cotton in the ground, shall we? Well, there you go. It's just sorted itself out. It is a visual glitch, obviously, but hey-ho. It is what it is. Just glad it's sorted now. So, anyway, yeah, come on. Let's get drilling. Right then, there we go, folks. Job done. Dead happy with that. Let's just turn this beastie off for a bit. Didn't take long at all either to get both of those fields done. Again, like I mentioned before, the benefits of having an absolutely massive bit of equipment like this. Really, really cool. But yeah, there we go. So, fortunately, having a quick look at the soil and fertilizer details, we haven't got anything else to do to these fields. We're actually over on all the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the potassium. The pH levels are tickety-boo now, thanks to the liming before. We have got some weeds growing, according to the base game thing here. So, fortunately, I'm looking forward to that in the near future. Well, next month, no doubt, I'll be able to get me my Kin and Fab big burner out and kill them with fire. So I'm really looking forward to putting that thing to the test. Yield bonus there in the information box in the bottom right. We've got 103%. But if we jump into our soil and fertilizer information, in fact, actually, it's easier just to go into the treatment plant. So field 137, all good. There we go. Field 136, all good. Excellent stuff. And the other two that we did in the last episode, 133 and 132, that's all good. And I think 132 is going to come up as saying it needs a little bit of lime in the top of the north side of the field, because that's 132. But as I said before, I don't think that would be the right thing to do. I could do it now, but the fact that the seeds are in the ground tells me, you know, I've missed out on that, basically. I should have done it previously. So anyway, it's all good. The other thing I did notice, though, I'm assuming this is down to the map, but obviously after running the cultivator, it's left the field in a seed bed state. But as you can see, it's all furrows, isn't it? It's not a smooth cultivated field anymore. It's still got the furrows in the field, which is a bit odd. Running the drill hasn't changed the texture. I'm not too... as I say, I think it's the map, but I'm not 100% on that. I don't know whether soil and fertilizer has its own textures that it brings into the game. But again, I might be completely missing myself with that. Either way, it's fine. The cotton's in the ground. all of it. So that's really, really good. So now we can kind of move on, and now we need to concentrate on the grass fields that we got. So we need to get some grass sown, all those fields sorted, and get the grass growing, so then we can turn that eventually into silage and then into electricity to start powering our production points, which we're going to go and have a look at in the next episode. I'll take us over there and we'll have a look at the area that Kim has created for this save, because it's really cool. There's a lot of space, big factories. We've got a really big biogas plant, and I did actually place down a couple of pretty sizable bunker silos as well, that I have had to do some editing for. And I just wanted to bring that up because when we do come round to sorting this save out for public download, again, you're more than welcome, all of you, to jump on the Discord. I can't say exactly when it will be that the save will be sorted and put out for public download. I'll need to do a little bit of work on there myself, but obviously I will list all of the mods. But because I have the bunker silos that I've placed over at the production points, I've actually had to make an edit to that mod so that I can rotate them. Like, instead of them, you know, our bunkers, you can only place them at 90-degree increments. Well, I've edited the mod to enable me to place them at any angle, so I've been able to place them perpendicular to the buildings that Kim has placed down to make it look neat and tidy. So I won't be able to share that mod, so yeah, there'll be something to have to faff around with there. But like I say, anyway, the save game will be available to download at some point in the near future. It might be a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks tops. But if you are interested in it, if you get yourselves over to the Discord, you'll be the first to know, and it'll be on there and available for everyone to get their hands on. Because, like I said before, we've had quite a lot of interest in it already. It's quite a popular topic, is it? When I start a save game, especially on a Chimera build, everyone wants to get their hands on it, and I don't blame them. It's an absolute wonderful setup over here on Delaplane. But yeah, there we go. The cotton's in the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Big job, well done. But it's just nice not to have to take hours and hours and hours to do it, especially, you know, running this big equipment. But it's 4 o'clock, so it's a nice place to end the day and to end the episode. We'll be picking up in the next episode first thing tomorrow morning and getting cracking. Like I said in the last episode, I'll be finding my feet with changing the if I will be changing the days per month. At the minute I'm in 7, which is quite a few, so I may well dial that down to 5 or even possibly 3 if I can, you know, confident that I can get everything I need to do done in those 3 days. But anyway, we'll sort that out in the future. But for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It really does help the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there's a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are looking to purchase Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market to purchase an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support here, ladies and gentlemen, as always, would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.